Deli jokes? Maybe we'll see. Let's look it up. There's like 220 of them, let's make them efficient as possible. We're going to Fat Dan's Deli for my next job next now. Sorry guys, but Snapchat wouldn't let him log out of his account, so we'll pick this up after school for real this time. Now on with the article. Ambition is the path to success. Persistence is the vehicle you arrive in. Anyways, article. For the love of wings, we're honored to be in such great company. Fat Don's is voted one of the 5 best spots to score chicken wings in Indianapolis. For the love of wings, we're honored to be in such great company. Fat Don's is voted one of the 5 best spots to score chicken wings in Indianapolis. The 5 best spots to score chicken wings in Indianapolis. Got a hankering for chicken wings? Hoodline crunched the numbers to find the top chicken wing spots in Indianapolis, using both Yelp data and our own secret sauce to produce a ranked list of the best spots to achieve your dreams. Indianapolis area consumers historically spend more in November at restaurants than other months of the year, according to data on local business transactions from Womply, a provider of CRM and email marketing for small businesses. The average amount spent per customer transaction at Indianapolis area restaurants grew to $23 for the metro area in November of last year, second only to December with an average of $25. And 4% higher than the average for the rest of the year. Hoodline offers data-driven analysis of local happenings and trends across cities. Links included in this article may earn Hoodline a commission on clicks and transactions. 1. Ale Emporium. Photo. Krishwa M./Yelp. First on the list is Ale Emporium, located at 8617 Ellisonville Road in Castleton. The sports bar, which offers pizza and more, is the highest-rated chicken wing spot in Indianapolis, boasting 4 stars out of 720 reviews on Yelp. 2. Fat Don's Deli. Photo. Anna Z./Yelp. Next up is Meridian Kessler's Fat Don's Deli, situated at 5410 North College Avenue, with 4 stars out of 373 reviews on Yelp. The deli, which offers barbecue, chicken wings and more, has proven to be a local favorite. 3. Wingstop. Photo. Wingstop, Yelp. A member of the chain Wingstop, a spot to score chicken wings and more, in Southbury is another much-loved go-to, with 4.5 stars out of 74 Yelp reviews. Head over to 7711 Shelby Street to see for yourself. 4. Keystone Sports Review. Photo. noll./Yelp. Over in Fairgrounds, check out Keystone Sports Review, which has earned 4 stars out of 210 reviews on Yelp. You can find the sports bar and traditional American spot, which offers chicken wings and more, at 5602 North Keystone Avenue. 5. Papa Bear's Chicken. Photo. MELB./Yelp. And then there's Papa Bear's Chicken, a Fairgrounds favorite with 4.5 stars out of 43 reviews. Stop by 1938 46th Street to hit up the traditional American spot, which offers chicken wings and more, next time you're in the mood. This story was created automatically using local business data, then reviewed and augmented by an editor. Click here for more about what we're doing. Got thoughts? Go here to share your feedback. Look at you. Frogs are amphibians. A frog is any member of a diverse and largely carnivorous group of short-bodied, Tailless amphibians composing the order Anura. What is the difference between frogs and toads? Toads are actually just a type of frog. All toads are frogs, but not all frogs are toads. Toads have different distinctive features than what typically characterizes a frog. Often toads have drier, bumpier warty skin and prefer drier habitats. They usually have shorter hind limbs and rounder stouter bodies than most typical frogs. Toads have poison glands in their skin to keep predators from eating them and oftentimes produce a funny smell when handled. Sometimes there are frogs that are called toads but are technically frogs. This can be confusing. A broken bar, and there are frogs that have bumps on their skin and toads that have smooth skin. And there is the horny toad, which is not a frog or toad. It is actually a reptile. Do frogs breathe when they are hibernating? Yes. Even amphibians that hibernate in the mud underwater breathe during hibernation. Since amphibians can breathe through their skin, they can absorb oxygen in the water during hibernation. They have to hibernate in water that has a good amount of oxygen in it, and sometimes will actually swim around in the water during winter to maintain proper oxygen levels. There are a few frogs that can stop their heart and breathing completely and still survive. They are able to do this by keeping a high level of glucose in their blood that acts like antifreeze and protects their vital organs. When the weather warms up, they wake up and their heart and breathing will resume normally. Do frogs sleep? Nobody really knows. At this point in time, there has been very little research in frog sleep patterns. It is known that they close their eyes, but no confirming brain scans have determined whether or not they actually have a true sleep period. How do frogs hear? Frogs do not have external ears like us. However, they do have eardrums and an inner ear. The frog ear is called a tympanum and is the circle you see behind a frog's eye. Some frogs have small tympanums, while others have ones that are larger than their eyes. The size of the tympanum and the distance between them are relative to the frequency and wavelength of the species male call. Their eardrum works like a regular eardrum with one very special adaptation: a broken bar. It is actually connected to their lungs. The lungs vibrate and are almost as sensitive to hearing as the eardrum. This allows frogs to make really loud sounds without hurting their own eardrums. The lungs are capable of doing this by equalizing the pressure differences between the outer surface of the eardrum and the inner surface of the eardrum. This adaptation may also be important in a frog's ability to locate where other sounds are coming from. Do frogs drink water? Frogs do not drink like we do. They absorb water directly through their skin in an area known as the A drinking patch, located on their belly and the underside of their thighs. How do frogs swallow? Frogs use their eyeballs to swallow. Frogs eat their prey whole and their eyeballs actually sink down into their mouth and push the food down into their throat. How can you tell the difference between male and female frogs? It depends on the species. It can be really hard to tell the males from the females because the sex organs are internal for both males and females. But in many species, the female is larger than the male, and the males sometimes have larger toe pads used during mating to grab onto the female. Males also call to attract females and defend their territory, so if you see a frog calling, it is probably a male. The throats of many male frogs are darker than the females. In certain species, it can be easy to tell the difference. In bullfrogs, the males are larger and have a larger tympanum. These are ears, the circles located directly behind the eyes. In many tropical frogs, the males have brighter, more vibrant colors. Here in Washington state, we have the tailed frog, which is actually the only frog that has an external sex organ, and only the males have these misnamed 8 tails. Do all frogs lay eggs in water? Most frogs lay their eggs in water, but there are exceptions. Frog eggs do not have a shell, so they need some kind of moisture to keep them from drying out until they hatch. Some frogs have come up with amazing ways to keep their eggs wet besides laying them directly in water. There are frogs that lay eggs under leaves above water in damp rainforests, and when they hatch, the tadpoles fall into the water where they can develop into little froglets. There are some frogs that carry their eggs on their back, and the male Darwin frog actually swallows the eggs and keeps them in his vocal sac until they hatch. Can frogs change color? Yes, Many frogs can change color. Frogs change color to help hide from predators by matching the colors of their surroundings. They also change color to help control their body temperature, as some colors absorb more or less light and can cool or warm them up. They use pigment cells called chromatophores to change color. Most frogs cannot completely change their color. Instead, they change the shade, lighter or darker, of their basic color. Why are frogs slimy? Some frogs are slimy because they are covered in a mucus coating. This coating helps them keep their skin moist, which helps them breathe through their skin. The mucus often contains other chemicals, like antibacterial or antifungals, to help protect the frog. Other frogs actually secrete a waxy coating that they spread across their body to help retain moisture in areas that have high temperatures or if they are active during the day. What is the white stuff on frogs? Salamander skin. The white stuff is secreted toxins. Some salamanders and frogs or toads secrete noxious chemicals as deterrents to predators. These secretions can be relatively mild to highly toxic. If you see white stuff on an amphibian skin, do not touch it. The amphibian is feeling very threatened if it starts oozing stuff, and some can even squirt it out at predators' eyes. So keep your eyes protected and leave the amphibian alone. Can a frog drown? Yes, frogs have lungs like we do, and if their lungs fill with water, they can drown just like us. Frogs can also breathe through their skin. They need to keep their skin moist to be able to breathe through their skin. So if their skin dries out, they are not able to absorb oxygen. They use their skin to absorb oxygen when underwater, but if there is not enough oxygen in the water, they will drown. Why do frogs eat their own skin? To not waste all the nutritious protein found in their skin. Frogs shed their skin periodically like most animals, but they do not slough it off and leave it behind. Frogs actually push the shedding skin into their mouth and eat it. This is the ultimate way to recycle all the components they use to produce their skin. Why do frogs have such big eyes? Why do frogs' eyes stick out of their head? So they can see behind them and to the sides without having to turn their head around. The large eyes are set far apart from each other and protrude out of their heads to give them an almost 360-degree view of their surroundings. This helps them see potential predators and prey to either make a quick escape or catch their dinner. Can frogs see underwater? Yes. Frogs have a third eyelid that covers their eyes so they can keep them open underwater. The eyelid is called the nictitating membrane and also helps the eyes to stay moist when they are not in the water. What are the bulges on a toad's head? They are poison glands. They are called parotid glands and are found behind the eyes on toads and some frogs and salamanders. In toads, these glands contain phytoxin, which is a neurotoxin. When a toad is under duress, it will secrete the milky phytoxin from these glands and sometimes even shoot it out to try and get it in the predator's eyes or mouth. If an animal attempts to eat them, they will get very ill and sometimes die, depending on the severity of the amount ingested and the strength of the neurotoxin. Wow. That's the first Haas customer who left like an fucking idiot. This is ass. But I'm gonna leave quickly.